Hello everyone and welcome. So, when Sleeper Simulant was buffed during Season 14, it still wasn't quite good enough to beat a well-rolled Threaded Needle for DPS, but since it's received a slightly larger damage buff than legendary linear fusion rifles, and more importantly now has 4 in the mag, let's take a look against Threaded Needle and Reed's Regret. The rolls on Threaded Needle are Projection Fuse, Clown Cartridge and Frenzy. Now, I know what you're thinking, why Projection Fuse? Well, hear me out. I don't have one with accelerated coils to test, and liquid coils will lower DPS while admittedly increasing total damage, but this is a DPS test. Projection Fuse is neutral regarding charge time, and therefore will provide a higher DPS number than liquid coils, while Enhanced Battery isn't really as necessary with Clown Cartridge, not that I have one with that perk either. Reed's Regret has Enhanced Battery, Triple Tap and Firing Line. These are arguably some of the best perks for absolute DPS numbers on this linear fusion rifle. Neither had a charge time masterwork, all testing was in a lunafaction well, none of the numbers include particle deconstruction, focus and lens hasn't been considered for Threaded Needle, and both had a major spec mod because the numbers were against Carl. Boss damage doesn't matter here as they're all linear fusion rifles, so the numbers are acceptable and scale equally. Sleeper Simulant did 82,119 damage per round, Threaded Needle did 59,221 per round, while Reed's Regret did 62,456 per round. Sleeper was tested over 3 full mags of 4, Threaded Needle was tested over 3 mags with the first having 6 rounds in and the remaining 2 with 7 rounds due to Clown Cartridge, and Reed's Regret was tested over 3 magazines of 6 but with Triple Tap, that increased to 3 magazines of 8, all with precision hits. Please note that some rounds from reserves have been omitted to ensure there were no partially full magazines included. And as these early results show, yes, Sleeper Simulant is finally better for sustained DPS than a well-rolled legendary linear fusion rifle, but let's take a look at this on the graph. Sleeper here as the base and Threaded Needle coming onto screen now. Because of the exotic superior damage per round, Threaded Needle can only pass Sleeper when it's reloading, but by that point, Threaded Needle needs to reload itself, and as this cycle continues, the longer both weapons are fighting for, the further Sleeper Simulant will pull ahead, so something to bear in mind when using reserve mods. And now Reed's Regret, initially very similar to Threaded Needle, but the 8 in the mag that allow it to fire for longer means it does a much better job of matching Sleeper Simulant and results in the two being a little back and forth, while it can stay ahead of Threaded Needle for any time duration. So, Sleeper and Reed's Regret may appear to be similar on the graph, however, if we consider some of the non-quantifiable attributes of Sleeper, such as more forgiveness if you land a body shot and not a crit, no temporary perk to keep proc, no requirement for 2 fire team members to be stood nearby, no RNG on the mag size or a reduced mag size if you don't land a crit, as well as a superior burst DPS from the second round onwards. For me personally, Sleeper is a clear winner, unless absolute total damage over a long period of time is your priority. I've used this roll Reed's Regret outside of raid encounters before and didn't like it at all. Threaded Needle and Reed's Regret could improve slightly from here with accelerated coils for the former and a charge time masterwork for both, but I still don't think it will be enough for them to be the better choice, unless you want to use an exotic in the primary or secondary slot. So yes, I'd say Sleeper Simulant is better for burst and sustained DPS than a well-rolled Threaded Needle or Reed's Regret, assuming long-term total damage isn't your priority. It's also more forgiving and practical. And that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you next time.